Ball, and there can be no second chances. It's the Bradford Bulls against Oldham on the playoff stage, where only the excellent will excel. The team news then, before the game gets underway: Bradford and John Keir makes 9 changes for this afternoon's playoff semi-final game against Oldham at Odsal, the most changes he's made in 2018, and he will run with Greg McNally at fullback, wing three-quarter line, Jai Hitchcock, Ashley Gibson, Toyo Igodo and Ethan Ryan. The halves will be Joe Keys and Dane Chisholm. The forwards will be Liam Kirk, Jordan Lillett, Steve Crossley, Matt Staunton, Elliot Minchella and Mikey Wood at loose forward. And on the interchange bench, James Green, George Flanagan, Ross Peltier and Matt Garside. There was no room in the side for Sam Hallis, Brandon Pickersgill and Callum Bustin, but we will be hearing from Sam Hallis and Brandon Pickersgill as well as Craig Harrison throughout the course of this afternoon. So it's Bulls Live, proper sport, also going out on Betfred, on the social media channels, and immediately Bradford complete their first set of 6 and Oldham will move the ball deep from inside their own half, and this is where they'll be looking for the punishment and pain. And Scott Naylor's side this afternoon, fresh after their 46 points to 18 victory against the London Scholars. It was a must-win game for them last weekend. Scott Naylor's side knew they had to win to get in the top 5 playoffs and book a place here and a trip to Odsal, and they have Kieran Johnson at fullback. The wing three-quarter line for the Oldham side then, Lee Kershaw, Matt Reid, Zach McCumb and Dave Eccleston. Paul Crook will feature in his 250th career appearance, and Dave Hewitt in the halves. The forwards will be Adam Neal, Gareth Owen, Phil Joy, Craig Briscoe, Danny Langtree and Liam Bent at loose forward, and on the interchange bench, Jack Spencer, Kenny Hughes, Matt Wilkinson and Adam Jones. There is no Ben Davis, Luke Nelms or Luke Cooley playing. They're all suspended after a feisty and fiery meeting between these two sides 2 weeks ago. So we've had exactly 2 minutes on the clock, 2 clean sets of 6 to start this game. It'll be McNally on his return to action. He's missed the last 2 fixtures and he'll fire the ball to Toyo Igodo. Igodo's going to be wrapped up just to the left of centre field. Lily back in at dummy half, 22 years of age. He will be on loan at the Bradford Bulls in 2019, hopefully from the Bulls' point of view in the Championship. As we said, it's do or die rugby league. The loser this afternoon, they will be consigned to League One in 2019. And Craig, we've just seen a very tight start here. Error-free rugby league football, the order of the day, both sides currently at 100% completion.
Yeah, I've just noticed there Keys is actually kicked early in the count, so John's definitely going for field position. I think Bradford have made more yards in the first 2 sets than what Oldham did. They've slowed the ruck down better, and they're going to get greater field position. Keys missed the kick to hit the floor there, but good start. Big battle here, I think. Stozza v Langtree as well. That's going to be a hell of a battle. Langtree's just signed for Hull FC, I think, in Super League, so fantastic challenge for an 18-year-old kid.
And that's Langtree there playing the ball out of dummy half. It will go to Crook. Crook on his return to action. He didn't feature when Bradford arrived at the Vestacare Stadium and left with 2 valuable points in their pursuit of top of the table York. The half-back pairing that afternoon was Gareth Owen and Hewitt, and at one point in that game, with 20 minutes gone, Oldham led John Keir's side by 10 points to 0 after early tries from Hewitt and Reid. Here we go. The first 20 minutes, they're going to be tough. Both sides just testing each other out. Lily, good distribution there. First receiver, finds it to Minchella. Minchella's going to be brought down just shy of the halfway line on the last tackle. The referee, Jack Smith from Wigan, he has considerable experience for both sides. As the kick will come in, it'll bounce up kindly for Eccleston, and Eccleston, he will try and navigate a path through the red, amber and black shirted Bulls defenders. He'll play the ball once again 20 metres out from that halfway line. It'll be Langtree in at dummy half. He will give the ball to Joy. Joy, quick play the ball, and here we go. Oldham looking to attack those Bulls markers. Kirk and Crossley there, and you suspect Scott Naylor's side, they're picking up the pace here. They're finding good meters down the middle of this Bradford Bulls defensive line, and that'll be Zach McComb, and once again owing to Langtree, and Langtree's now brought down on the last tackle. 25 out from that Bradford line, centre of the field. The kick from Hewitt, looking for the winger on the far stand side, looking to put McNally under pressure. There's no one at home, but it's been touched by the Oldham winger on that left edge, and the chance has gone begging. Lee Kershaw looking to put Jai Hitchcock's under pressure, and Bradford, well, an early scare, but it remains scoreless, 0-0 on the board.
I think Crook, letting Crook and Hewitt get to that field position there will cost Bradford. They need to stop that. I think Jordan Lim missed the tackle in the middle. Big set here, big set coming. That's it, get it wide on these edges and get them and the edges. Get Tayo and Stoz making some yards on this side.
Matty Staunton brought down just outside his own 20-metre line. Lilly now to Crossley. Crossley once again trundles the ball forward, brought down by Neal and Joy in a two-man tackle. Bradford on their own 30-metre line. They're going to come on the short side. Lilly once again to Staunton. Staunton made his debut for the Bulls in 104 record away victory. They're going to kick early in the count. Lilly to Chisholm. Chisholm will split Kershaw and Hewitt, and Kieran Johnson has to be safe as houses at fullback, and he will return the ball and is immediately flattened there by Liam Kirk and Elliot Minchella in a two-man tackle. So once again, the Bulls kicking early in the count.
Fantastic, great kick by Dane there. The roll-up line speed's good. No penalties here, lads. This could be the set where they actually stop the yardage and they get some gate return here. This be a great chance for Bradford here. They're on set of 4 now. They're not even making halfway here, Mick. This is a massive point, I think, if they can get it here.
Craig Briscoe, 6 tries in total this season. He scored last time out against London. As we've already said, it was a crucial game that Scott Naylor's side had to win to get in the playoffs. This is the 5th and last tackle. They've exhausted their set of 6. It is Hewitt. He kicks it straight down to Hitchcox. Hitchcox has knocked it on. It's gone into touch. The scrum will be formed 10 metres out from the Bradford line. Both sides, they've been staring at each other, eyeballs firmly focused on, and it's the Bulls who will blink first.
Mick, we previewed it. We saw how windy it was out there, and we said if they get the field position and get it to the half-backs, they're going to cause some problems. We said that the wingers and the full-back will be essential for today's game. How they defend the kicks will have a massive say on the game. I'm just now over there, Mick, to lads. What you seeing, lads? Anything?
Yeah, a bit of an uncharacteristic error there from Jai, but this set coming up will really test our goal line D. I think it's been outstanding all year, and the boys will have front up again. But I think it's been a good battle so far. We've gone set for set, so I have full confidence in the boys that our goal line D will hold out.
Well, we're looking at 2 of the best defensive sides in Betfred League 1. Bradford, they're conceding on average 11 points per game. Oldham, just over 13 points. We certainly think it's going to be a tight, tense, low-scoring contest, and it's going to be Oldham looking to put the Bulls under pressure early doors. Out of dummy half from Owen. Owen out to Crook. Crook to Hewitt. Hewitt back on the inside to Briscoe. Briscoe's brought down 2 metres out from the Bradford line. Early Oldham pressure here at Odsall Stadium. Can they break this Bulls defensive resolve as Hewitt gives it to Joy, and Joy 8 tries for Scott Naylor's side this term. He's wrapped up on the 5th and last tackle, 2 metres away from the prize underneath the sticks. The kick will come in from Crook. It's come off the leg of Staunton. Lilly will dive on the ball, and Bradford keep their goal line intact. It'll be Ethan Ryan who will bring the ball out towards the 10-metre line. The offload out of the tackle to McNally. McNally now to Igodo, and Igodo's brought down 15 metres out from his own try line. Bradford are looking for options. They're going to win the first penalty of the afternoon. Quick thinking from Jai Hitchcox. He picked the ball up at dummy half, and he attacked the lazy defence of Adam Neal and Phil Joy.
Yeah, looking at that, Mick, I'm looking at that first penalty, get some good field position here and start the set. Brandon's going to give us a little bit what he's seen in attack, see if he can see any weaknesses in Oldham, Brandon.
I think at the moment, mate, we're just feeling Oldham out. We're not really throwing the ball about a bit, so hopefully this set we can get to a point and create some numbers somewhere. But this game we're just going to be happy to complete and turn over in the corner, so if they're passing on, I don't think we'll be forcing it today. But yeah, as I say, we'll be trying to kick to the corners and isolate their wingers and make them come out of their yardage.
We've had 10 minutes gone here at Odsall Stadium. 0-0. Chisholm to Staunton. Staunton wrapped up there. Great defensive read from Liam Bent. He was all over Matty Staunton, and Staunton will get to his feet and he'll play the ball 25 metres out. The Bulls will move the ball laterally back in centre field. Kirk brought down on tackle number 4 in front of the post. Crossley will take the Bulls inside the Oldham 20 for the first time, as it now shifts hands via Lilly and ends up with Mikey Wood on the last tackle. 15 metres out, the Bulls will shift the play on the right hand edge. Gibson's pass has gone forward towards Hitchcock's, and that will be a second error from the Bulls. And Oldham, as we said, they have watertight defence, the third best in all 3 competitions in 2018. They've conceded just 345 points, and as we said, that is an average of just over 13 points per game. The Bulls will have to work hard this afternoon, Craig, for every available point.
It was on there. Gibson's actually missed it. If Gibson gets that, he got outside of his centre. It were on here. 2-on-1 with the winger. So first time Bradford have got field position, I feel as though if they got through it, then they'd have scored a try. Big set again. Get the field position. When you get the field position, you get the penalty count. Then they can put the edges are where Oldham are weak here today. That's where Bradford will get the joy. But they're going to have patience to get it.
Don't forget there is an other playoff game taking place, as Joe Keys, a lazy arm, has just touched the ball in flight. It caught the wind, and it is another fresh set of 6 here to the visitors at Odsall Oldham, and now they will win their first penalty in the afternoon. Jai Hitchcock and Ashley Gibson penalised for laying on in the tackle. Penalty count is evened up at a penalty apiece, but the ladies score from the Keepmoat Stadium. It is Doncaster 8, Workington Town 0. It is scoreless here at Odsall Stadium. 12 minutes gone. Here come Oldham. They're inside the Bradford 20 metre line as Crook will give it to Johnson. Johnson's going to be brought down 10 metres out, and Bradford, the defending for the lives here as Kirk and Staunton bring down Johnson. Quick play of the ball though. They shift it back in centre field with Hewitt. Hewitt's pass to Bent. We'll see Bent wrapped up by Minchella. And here come Oldham down the direct route, down the middle with Phil Joy. And Joyce is going to be brought down on tackle number 4. There's a tackle remaining here for the visitors. Out of dummy half, the ball's been knocked forward. Referee Jack Smith will say scrum head and feet to Oldham. He's going to say McNally has just palmed it. He was a little bit too hasty there, and Oldham another repeat set of 6 deep inside the Bulls half.
Jordan Lilly actually, Mick, I think it was Jordan who was shot out at line because he maybe his body was in the wrong position. He's actually saved a try there, so I hope the referee is knock on Oldham in good field position. But he's big set for Oldham here, Mick. They've got they're stopping it now. Time for a rest.
Referee Jack Smith just stopping the clock. The game being played at a breakneck speed. We've had 13 minutes gone, and as we said, the 2 previous meetings in 2018, they met here on Good Friday back on the 30th of March. It was Bradford 30, Oldham 12. For 60 minutes though in that match, the Bulls had to work hard, and it was only in the final 10 minutes when a couple of late tries to Dalton Grant really took the game in favour of the Bulls. And as we said, they met 2 weeks ago, and it was Oldham 16, Bradford 24. Oldham raced out into an early 10-0 lead, and Oldham playing just as well as Paul Crook tries to split Staunton and Kirk. McNally comes in as the 3rd man, looking for options with Gareth Owen. Owen's pass has been picked off by Lilly. Has Lilly got the feet? He takes a swing, an air grab from Langtree, and Lilly will be brought down 25 out from the halfway line. McNally in at dummy half. Here goes Hitchcock's. Hitchcock's up to the Bradford 40 metre line, and in 2 tackles the Bulls have gone from defending to entering the Oldham half, which they will do on this next play as Igodo's wrapped up on tackle number 3 on the halfway line. Here we go. Tackle 4 gone. They've gone 60 metres courtesy of that Jordan Lilly intercept. Bradford, can they capitalise as it goes down the middle with Mikey Wood? It's the last tackle. They're going to look for options. They're going to come to Chisholm. Chisholm's going to fire one. It's going to be a difficult one for Johnson. It's swirling, it's swirling. Johnson trapped in goal by Ethan Ryan. That was a superb take by Johnson, but what a tackle from Ryan. It's a repeat set of 6 from the Bulls. That could be a pivotal moment.
Great completion by Dane there. Great kick about a metre before he got there. Ethan's completed the tackle. Great interception by Jordan Lilly. He knocked on the one before intentional, saved a try, and then he's actually intercepted and read the play. Big set. The wins against this. This could be the breakthrough, Mick. I'm calling it. And I think Bradford will get them on the edge on the right hand side. They've got numbers every time. I think John's telling them to keep it safe and patience. But I think if they dare play it, then Bradford will get to their left edge. There's numbers every time they set up.
Workington Town have just narrowed the gap. It's Doncaster 8, Workington Town 6. Still yet to see first points here at Odsall Stadium. But speaking to Scott Naylor before the game, did they believe they can win this afternoon? He promised his players that they can. They arrive here at Odsall with all the belief in the world that they can get a famous scalp here at Odsall. Steve Crossley on tackle number 2. Lilly to Keys. Keys with a half break wrapped up there by Owen. Bradford inside the Oldham 20-metre line. Lilly attacks the markers, and this will be first points for the Bradford Bulls because John Keir will send on the kicking tee, and that was quick thinking there from Jordan Lilly. Oldham's marker defence, Craig, it wasn't set, there was no structure, and Jack Smith had no option to extend the arm and point towards the Bulls.
Yeah, I think Keysy went at the line through the dummy, got his half through, and Jordan got the quick play. 2 points, take every point today in these conditions. Again, I'll just put the lads on just to see what they're seeing from within the camp, if they can see anything in any gaps. Sam Ellis.
I think it's just good composure at the minute. I think we know with a fitter team, and going set for set. We don't have to score off every set. Field position is obviously a big thing in rugby league, and I think we're doing outstandingly. The workload's been shared, and just on the break there by Jordan, I thought it was great composure just to keep hold of it. It could have easily been to I force a pass to Ethan or Toyo on the edge, but to keep hold of the ball, just get down the other end, and then it's a great chase from Ethan to trap him in goal.
Joe Keys from in front of the post gets the first points here at Odsall Stadium. Do or die. Playoff rugby league football on Bulls Live, proper sport, and across the Betfred social media platform. Let us know in the comments where you're watching in the world. But certainly Steve Blackburn, he is happy with the way the Bulls have started this game. He says go for the 2 points, points at a premium, and Bradford Bulls lead Oldham here in do or die playoff footy by 2-0. On the restart then, we're going to go back with Crook. Crook's going deep towards McNally. McNally will take that from the clouds. He'll look to find the support of Kirk, and Kirk's going to be brought down on tackle number 1, 15 metres outside of his own line. And it's a great intensity to this one. This one's certainly up there with the best we've seen in Betfred League 1 all season, Craig.
And the highest completion I've seen Bradford do since I've been doing this, Mick, and Oldham. I think that Bradford are completing about 90-95%, maybe one penalty I've only seen. So fantastic composure, and that's exact another penalty, unbelievable. And John Keir would have stated, Mick, non-stop, patience, and they're doing exactly what the game plan. Mr. Keir will be an happy man so far. They're going to get field position again, and I think there's tries, but again, Bradford looks so composed. Oldham, within the next 5 or 10 minutes, if they carry on like this, will start trying to upset the ruck, and there'll be some things going off, but Bradford so far 10 out of 10.
Bradford's third penalty awarded, the second one in quick succession for Oldham, not clearing the ruck. Can Bradford capitalise? Agodo, here goes Lilly once again out of that marker defensive line. He's going to be brought down by Hewitt and Jack Spencer just to the left hand side of the post. They're going to straighten up with Huddersfield Giants low knee Mikey Wood. Wood's brought down 5 metres out from the line in centre field. Lilly in there at dummy half, misses out Crossley to Chisholm to Kirk twisting and turning, trying to wiggle his way towards the line. He's brought down 2 metres out. It now goes to Keys, fires it out to Hitchcox hesitates, comes back in field, beats 1, beats 2, looks for the line, finds the support of Crossley. Crossley is immobilised there by Langtree, and that's the last tackle here for the Bradford Bulls. Lilly, Chisholm looks for Ryan, gets the nod, crossfield kick, and Ryan will cross the Oldham line with the grace and elegance of a ballet dancer. It is 4 points to the Bulls, and it's 6-0 the lead.
Mick's just jumped out at gantry, by the way. We'll carry on as we are. Great set, patience. Spoke to Ethan Ryan in the studio on Thursday. No better player in the country at the moment than that play. And now they know they can do it. They've got to keep doing it. Get the field position. Ethan's got the beating of the winger at Oldham. They've got to keep doing it. That's what the best teams do. They get you, they wrestle and they squeeze. Brandon Pickersgill, what do you think?
Yeah, as you say, mate, Ethan Ryan is unbelievable at that. So when we've got something like that, we've got to keep using it. Great kick by Cheers, landing it just above his head. And I think that'll be a go-to play for us this afternoon. I think the boys have calmed down now. We're in a stride, and I think it's a sign of good things to come in this game.
Well, as we've seen numerous times all season, that now is the 16th time in 2018 Chisholm has had a try assist for Ethan Ryan, and as we've just said, he had the grace, the elegance of a ballet dancer. He got perfect tens across the board. The Dudgeys, they were delighted with that, and let me tell you, that kick chase, that was planned, a tackle before it happened, because Chisholm looked towards Ryan and he gave him the nod. Keys to add the extra two. It's the Don Fox moment to Dodsell. It hits the left-hand upright and it comes back in. 6-0 it remains. Bulls Live, proper sport and Betfred.
I hope that doesn't come back to haunt Bradford, that one. That's an easy kick missed there by Keys. He needs to get that right. If there's not going to be a lot of points today, you make them 2 points, it's going to be everything. So come on, concentrate. Great start for Bradford. The crowd are getting behind them. The 6-0 that looks so relaxed, Mick. Oldham will try and upset this rhythm here. It's going to happen. Get ready. They've got to stay cool.
I think for another day we'll discuss that precision, that fearlessness. It was effortless from Ethan Ryan there to out-jump Kieran Johnson and take the ball. But Bradford lead by 6 points to 0, and Oldham looking a little bit rattled, a little bit shaky now with 20 minutes gone. Chisholm to Igodo. Here goes Igodo, the former Oldham man. He goes herring away. 8 metres inside the Oldham half. Ryan in at dummy half, back to Chisholm. How good's the Bulls' attacking structure? Mikey Wood tries to break free, and Wood's going to be brought down. 30 metres out, centre field. It now goes to Lilly. Lilly tries to win a penalty. Lily's brought down. 22 metres out, last tackle. Chisholm out to Igodo. They're going to stretch the Oldham side. Igodo puts a kick in.
No.
Just a little bit too much there, and it will be a tap on the 20. A 7 tackle set here for Oldham.
Make that criminal.
6-0 it is to the Bulls.
Mick, that's criminal because they've had exactly the same field position then, and they had to go in the air again, and they've actually gone for the grubber, and Toyo's quick. It's crazy. If you've just got something and it works, go back to it. And that's the best teams can do it, and they've just come off it then and give a set of 7. It's crazy. And I'm sure they won't be happy about that.
Oldham attacking inside the Bradford half, trailing by 6 points to 0, courtesy of a Keys penalty and an Ethan Ryan try, and they're looking for their first points. And it is Zach McComb, 11 tries this season, to Hughes. Hughes to Hewitt back on the inside to Briscoe, and Briscoe, he's brought down 20 metres out just to left-hand side of the Bradford post. Paul Crook in his 250th career appearance fires it to Langtree. Langtree gets the ball out the back door, back to McComb. McComb to Hughes. Hughes looking for options. They're in centre field. He's got the dancing feet, Adam Neal, and he's brought down finally on the last tackle. And it's an error. It's been forced there from Elliot Minchella. He just was in his haste to get to his feet there, Adam Neal, and the ball has been knocked on. It's only a second error from Oldham, but Scott Naylor on the last tackle, he would have wanted that. Chance gone begging, Craig.
Chance begging, great field position, and again it all come from that end of set by Bradford. They've rolled them down the pitch and they've had a chance to put something in. So again, Bradford got to concentrate, think about where the joy's coming from. A couple of passes where they did it early there, they can get them on these edges. Keep using the same word, Mick, patience.
Well, we knew it'd certainly be tight and tense, and a key factor we feel might be coming into play as this game goes on is the fact that Oldham have a bit of superiority in the age and experience takes. The average age of the Oldham side this afternoon, 26 years and 3 months. For the Bulls, it's 24 years and 6 months, and that has been certainly helped by the returning Greg McNally, George Flanagan and Steve Crossley. The referee will say Matty Storden has to go back and play the ball. He's lost a boot as it goes once again from Lilly out of dummy half. It goes to Crossley, the former Clayton amateur. Bradford born and bred Steve Crossley. He's certainly like the wrecking ball. Chisholm's kick pays dividends. Oldham have come up with an error, and that was like the bowling ball down the bowling alley, knocking the Skittles over. Matt Reid, a very unfortunate error, but in these high pressure games, Craig, no second chances. It has come off for the Bulls. They'll have a full set of 6 inside the Oldham half.
It has, Mick, but it's a shocker by Dane there again. He had all the time in the world there to put that in. Call it as you see it. They've got very lucky again there, the Bulls. Not happy about the last 5 minutes, Mick. I think they need to get back to the composure and say that kick, he's got away with murder.
Matty Staunton.
I think if they work him, Mick, down this left edge, and then they go, when they get close to line, go right, they'll get him. They're getting the yards on this edge.
Lilly once again, he'll get the ball from Matty Staunton. It goes on tackle free to Liam Kirk, wrapped up. Liam Kirk looking for his first try of the season as Joe Keys just dropped the shift and thought about coming on this left-hand edge. First interchange of the afternoon for the Bulls. James Green will come on for Liam Kirk, and we're about to see the Giant, as he's been nicknamed in these parts, and here goes Mikey Wood. Mikey Wood will carry the Bulls 11 metres shy from the Oldham line. It's the last tackle. Bit of miscommunication between Lilly and Chisholm. Chisholm will kick forward behind Eccleston. A little bit too much on it, and it's gone dead in goal. And Brandon becoming a little bit sloppy now for the Bulls.
Yeah, I think that pass out of dummy half, Solcher's a bit short there. I think John will be really upset about that. Yet another 7 tackle set and a poor end. It's not what we want to be doing. We want to be finishing in the corner. And now they've got a chance to get an extra 30 metres on us. So we need to get back in a stride and stop giving them easy field position.
We've had 25 minutes gone. Bulls Live, Proper Sport and Betfred bringing you this crucial Betfred League One playoff semi-final from Odsal Stadium. 6-0. Just a Joe Keys penalty and an Ethan Ryan try. It was marvellous on the eye, it must be said. But Oldham, once again, they're growing back in confidence, just trying to wrestle that ascendancy and momentum from the Bulls. And here goes Jack Spencer. Spencer will be brought down by Green, and the ball's come loose in the tackle, but there's 2 in the tackle, says Jack Smith, and he points at Mikey Wood and James Green. And Oldham have a decision to make here. The 30 metres out in front of the post. I think they're just going to tap the ball, and they're going to look to put pressure on the Bulls, which they will do. It'll be Paul Crook. Crook will give it to Bent. Bent's brought down on tackle number 1. Oldham shifting the ball on that left-hand edge, and a flat-looking pass has been knocked on, and McNally will recover. Here goes Hitchcox. It's the free play, and Jai Hitchcox will make 25 metres forward. Oldham guilty now and not clearing the ruck, and once again Scott Naylor must be pulling his hair out, Craig, because they're the architects of their own downfall.
I think that's a money ball pass by the Oldham halfback. Then didn't need to do it, actually had another 2 sets then, so he's forced it. Good thing for Bradford is Oldham are panicking when they get the good ball. There's not much composure. They've had a lot of field position in the first 20 minutes, Mick, and they've not used it. Good sign for Bradford. And now George is on now. You're going to see some speed round this ruck. Get ready.
Jordan Lilly leaves the field. George Flanagan comes on, so both coaches going through the interchange process. And another player who's come on is Ross Peltier. He's scored 10 tries so far this season, and he's brought down 15 metres out. Oh, beautiful ball! Keys slices the Oldham defence like a sharp knife on a raw running end, and it's 10 points to 0.
Get in there, well done the Bulls. Great shot. He actually tried that earlier on, Keys. He tried it about 5 minutes ago. Little show and go. He's obviously seen the gap and he's done it again. Fantastic. Let's hope he concentrates on this kick. Great play by Joe Keys. Bradford have now in this tendency they've got George Flanagan on who will actually attack behind the ruck. It's all fantastic, Mick. Bradford in a great position. John Keir is the happier coach.
Sam Hallastis, talk us a bit about what George Flanagan did there, because I've just watched it back on the monitor. The speed, the pick-up of that pass to Joe Keys, the Oldham defensive structure, they had milliseconds, no time at all to react to what was happening.
Yeah, he's been around the block, George, hasn't he? He's a very experienced bloke. Yeah, it was a great pass, but you know, majority of it's Keysy, that isn't it? You know, he's seen it and he's gone right through the gap there. He's been doing it all season. He's been absolutely fantastic for us. But you know, George now, when the pack's tiring a bit, this is when George comes alive. Because one thing you don't want when you're tiring is George Flanagan in your ear hole, especially running around that ruck as well. So he'll be a real threat. Also, Greeny and Ross coming on, they'll also be a threat. So I think we might dominate this next 10 minutes.
Joe Keys will attempt the conversion attempt. 8 metres to the left-hand side of the post. There's a deadly hush around Odsall. We've had 28 minutes on the clock. With the right boot, this one will go between the posts and over the red, amber and black dot. And on Bulls Live, Proper Sport and Betfred this afternoon, Mick Gledall, Craig Harrison, Sam Hallison, Brandon Pickersgill, your call team. It is the Bradford Bulls 12, Oldham 0. And just an interesting stat for you about Joe Keys, the 23-year-old, he made his debut here for Bradford against Oldham back in 2016. It was an 82 points to 0 victory for then head coach Rowan Smith, and Keys, on debut, scored a try and 10 goals. It's 12 points to 0 here, Craig.
Mick, it's absolutely tearing down with rain here. The game's going to change, but Bradford have definitely got the quicker plays of the ball. Get ready, keep it going. Oldham going to have to slow them down. There's going to be penalties coming now. But the rain's sleeting down, Mick. We're going to see a downfall. Hopefully that don't level it, because at the moment Bradford are well on top.
And I think as we hit the 30-minute mark, we're about to see the impact of the missing suspended duo, Ben Davis and Luke Nelms. That forward power as Bradford look to shift the ball down the right-hand edge via Keys to Minchella. It is the last tackle, says referee Jack Smith. It goes from Flanagan to Keys. Keys will send one downtown towards Kershaw and Johnson. Great tack there from Johnson. Bradford inside the 10, relieving penalty, respite for Oldham, and that is the 8th penalty in the first half. 5-3 in favour of the Bulls, but this is a pick-me-up for the Oldham side.
Lazy by James Green, just actually attempt at a lazy left arm, no good. Actually should have got to the chase, didn't need to do that. Crazy penalty. I keep seeing something, Mick, on the right edge, and I'm wondering why McNally's not going round the back on the right and creating that number, because they seem to have two numbers every time, whether they're scared to play it, whether the conditions, but I think if Greg just adjusts his centre to go on the right, they're going to get a 5-on-3 every time they go down that side. So I think that's where they should look at. Hopefully some of the coaches have seen that.
Referee Jack Smith just holding up play, allowing the players to take on the fluids. Referee Jack Smith, of course, no stranger to appearing here at Odsall Stadium. He officiated Bradford's Championship Shield final victory back in 2016. Bradford defeating Sheffield that afternoon by 27 points to 16. The latest score at the Keepmoat Stadium, it is Doncaster 8, Workington Town 14. So Leon Price, his side going into half-time, up by 6 points. And Bradford, they will set their defensive stall up just 10 metres in field from halfway, and Oldham, they will look to attack from deep. But Scott Naylor, he's about to make an enforced change here, because second row forward, just holding that left arm there. He's led off the field by the Oldham physio and Bradford Bulls doctor, Donald Young, and on will come Phil Joy. So what do you make, Craig? We've had half an hour gone. It's certainly been rough and tumble.
I think John Keane will be absolutely overwhelmed with how Bradford have played. They all look composed. Little areas they can get up. Hey, Mick, it's Odsall, it's October, it's going to happen. There's going to be mistakes, but if I were Bradford at the moment and a Bradford fan listening to this, you're well in front, you're well composed. Let's hope, like I say, the rain don't bring a leveller to it, because the quicker the play of the balls are so in Bradford.
Oldham then on the halfway line. It'll be tapped by Zach McComb. 11 tries this season. Oldham looking for some points before half time. It'll go out a dummy half from Hughes. Hughes will find Wilkinson. Wilkinson's going to be brought down on tackle number 2. They're 10 metres inside the Bradford half as Hewitt finds Johnson. Johnson on the left-hand edge to Reed. Reed's brought down 30 metres out, 5 in from the far stand side. And here goes Joy, who's fresh back out on the field. We've got 7 minutes to go to half-time here at Odsall Stadium. It goes back in centre field to Hewitt. Hewitt to Crook. Crook now back to McComb, and McComb's going to be brought down just outside the Bradford 20, although his forward momentum will just carry him in on the last tackle. There was Staunton and Flanagan around him. The kick behind the line, it's peppered delicately, but just a little bit too much on it there from Dave Hewitt, and it'll be a tap on the 20 for the Bulls. And on Bulls Live Proper Sport and Betfred this afternoon, it remains Bradford 12, Oldham 0.
Bradford looked so composed in the goal line D. There looks no panic at all in the defence. That's a brilliant sign for any team. That's about 4 or 5 sets they've defended within their own 20 metres, and they just look so composed. They're all trusting each other. As I say, it's all Bradford for me at the moment.
Toyo Gordo looking to call the ball on this left-hand edge, but it goes to Green via the play the ball from Peltier. Flanagan in at dummy half, peeling for a penalty, non-forthcoming. Flanagan attacks the markers. Here goes George Flanagan, kick through for McNally. He's lost the ball forward. The chance has gone begging. A bit of miscommunication there from the Bulls. Flanagan, you could see what he had done. He'd sucked in Johnson. He was looking to kick ahead for McNally, but he dropped the ball on contact. It remains 12-0.
Mickey didn't need to kick that. He just needed to pass inside. It was crazy by George. George has actually made the break. And I don't think he realised that he'd actually got through. And when he did, if once you draw a full-back, you've got no need to kick if somebody's on your shoulder. Looks like Greg had shouted, that's a try bomb for me. So, but George is starting to get some joy, Sam, don't you think?
Yeah, it definitely is, mate. I think that's what George brings. Like he's very good at scanning and seeing lazy defenders, etc., and things like that. So, I think the more this game goes on, I think George will start having a field day. He's taught me a lot this year, and he's a great bloke as well. So I hope he runs in for about 5 tries.
Oldham.
You don't play next week, Sam. Well done.
Oldham, they've been in this position before. Back on the 30th of March on Good Friday, it was 12 points to 0 at half time. In that second half, Oldham woke up from the slumber and really made the Bulls work hard for the points. Joy on Green, big headed collision. Garside back out there on the field for the Bulls. This will be the last tackle. Paul Crook looks up, surveys his surroundings, looks to send one downtown for Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan will be clattered there by Langtree, and Oldham have turned the Bulls around now, and they'll look for an error as Hitchcock carries it in on tackle number 2. Just under 6 minutes to go to half time as Bradford via Gibson. The back row just letting the forwards have a breather on this set, you feel. McNally now in at dummy half. Here goes Matt Garside. Garside certainly a lot of experience, the former Sheffield and London man. He'll get up and play the ball on his own 30-metre mark. George Flanagan once again attacking the markers, but he takes a big don't argue on the shoulder from Matt Reed. It is the last tackle for the Bulls. Keys to Chisholm. Chisholm's kick. It's a bit of a boomerang kick, banana kick. It'll find touch. 40 metres out from the Oldham line. Just want to talk to Brandon Pickersgill quickly. Brandon, you must be absolutely delighted to pen a new deal with the Bradford Bulls. You've signed a full-time 2-year deal. You'll be at Odsal in 2019 and 2020.
Yeah, mate, over the moon, really. Like as I said earlier in the week, when it got offered to me, it was one that I couldn't turn down. I was buzzing, so yeah, I wanted to stay here, and I'm happy that the club offered me, and we're looking forward to what's going to come in the future with this club.
And obviously, a decision to stay at the Bulls has got to be on the back of John Keir and the chance, if Bradford can navigate this playoff semi-final and the final next week, to test yourself against championship opposition.
Yeah, 100%. Well, in our heads, we want to be in that championship, and we're pretty certain we're going to go up this year. As I say, we need to do the business on the field first. But yeah, John Key has been great with me this year. He's really developed my game and brought me forward. So hopefully I can continue in that way next year and keep improving.
And of course, you had a plethora of interest. You had Super League clubs, Championship clubs. That's on the back of a fantastic 2018 that you've had.
Yeah, as I say, my contract's up at it was up at the end of this year. So. A few clubs did come in and there was interest elsewhere, but when Bradford did finally come in and offered me, it was one that I couldn't turn down, and yeah, that's it really.
Still 12-0 here at Odsal Stadium. Oldham, they're looking for first points, and we're still 5 minutes away from half-time. They're looking for some divine inspiration. Who's going to be the catalyst to spark their resurgence? But it's still an almighty arm wrestle out there as Joy will carry it in via the pass from Hewitt. He's wrapped up on tackle number 4. Once again, Minchella going through a mountain of work in defence, and Oldham Just coming straight down the middle, the front of this Bulls defence. Heavy traffic there. Flanagan, he's asking the Bulls to get back in the position. The kick will come from Crook. McNally, it's being palmed sideways. It's a live ball. Oldham dive on it. They're appealing for a try. Jack Smith says first knock on Oldham. The try will be scrubbed off. It remains 12-0.
Again, Mick Oldham get good field position, and Danny Langtree there jumped up and actually, I don't know why he did it, he tapped the ball forward, so I don't know what I'm going to challenge someone here. I think Toyo needs to come into a bit in the carries and yardage. He's not getting involved enough. I think they can go and get the wingers. Toyo's a great carrier of a ball, but he's happy to let the ball come to him. I think they need to get him in and bit this left edge. Every time they've managed to get down short side here, they've made yardage, but T needs to go and find that ball as well, and that's a shocker.
Bradford's 5th error in this first half here. Referee Jack Smith says first knock on against the Bulls. Flanagan's quick pick up out of dummy half, and that one has gone to ground. Scrum head and feed to Oldham here. A crucial period in this first half. 4.5 minutes to go to half time. Bulls live. Proper spot, and of course Betfred taking the coverage this afternoon. It's still 12-0, but Scott Naylor, he'll be getting the message out, Craig. They've had far too many chances in this first half where it's resulted in raceful possession.
100%. This is about the 6th, 7th time they've had great field position. I think Oldham's chances are their left edge and getting at the Bradford right edge. But they need to set that play up. They can't just go for it too early. But they've come with nothing yet on an end at set, which will be absolutely devastating for the coach. But here they're going to go right. And they've seen Smith, but again it's pretty slow and ponderous and it's pretty predictable. But I think their joy is going to be down the left edge.
Johnson's brought down by Chisholm, 5 metres away from the Bradford line, as we've already commented on. Two of the most defensive base sides in Betfred League One. Can Oldham strike before half time? Hewitt, crossfield, looking for Kershaw. Kershaw's over the line, but he's held up. Great defence there from the Bradford Bulls. McNally and Hitchcocks and also Keys in that 3-man tackle, and we go back to the 10. It is the last tackle. A bit of a stray pass over the head of Hewitt, and Ross Peltier. He was Usain Bolt there, Ross Peltier. He raced from a standing start, and that is great defensive play from the Bulls.
Fantastic, absolutely. And the enthusiasm afterwards, when he's nailed him there, he's nailed the half-back, they're all getting behind the mate, they're all patting his back, and that's what you need to do to win these games. Again, Toyo needs to get in here and take some carries. Here we go, that's another penalty. John Kear's going to be very, very happy, get the field position. Extra 10 yards, bad discipline. Bradford, what a way to finish the half here. Bit of a composure and come with some points.
Well, we don't condone any dissent towards the match officials, but Oldham there, they've just conceded 2 quick penalties, and we've had our 10th penalty in the first half, and with 3 minutes to go to half time, a chance now for the Bradford Bulls to further extend their lead on the back of some sloppy defending and then ill discipline. Learn to keep your mouth shut, because this could be a costly penalty, as Bradford just outside the 20-metre line. Flanagan to Peltier on the right hand edge. Peltier's brought down, 15 out just to the right hand side of the post. Exactly 2 minutes remaining on the clock here at Oxford Stadium in the first half. Just Keys and Tryon the tries. Chisholm with a 1-pointer between the posts. That could be the difference come the 80th minute. Oldham now have to score 3 tries to come away from Odsall with their first win since 1991. It's Bulls Live proper sport at Betfred. Bradford 13, Oldham 0.
Mick, right time, I think I've just looked up 13 points there just before half time. One big set here, one big set, no mistakes guys. Go into half time, 13-0, John Keir, happier coached by Miles. And I don't see much in Oldham close to the line again, apart from that little bit you see on the left edge. So I think Bradford, as long as they keep the composure, this game will change, Mick, in the second half, because Oldham will come and there's going to be some real stuff thrown at Bradford physically and verbally, and they've just got to keep in the arm wrestle, keep the composure, keep using the same word. And at the moment, Bradford are doing a fantastic job.
Josh Woods commented on the stream saying great drop goal there from Chisholm. Barbara Batten says yes from Chisholm, just what we needed. and Phil J. Harris is happy that the Bulls got the point there, and it's another penalty to the Bradford Bulls with 50 seconds remaining, and that's an 8th penalty in this first half that Oldham have conceded. And here come the Bulls, they're hungry for more points. Don't divert your ears away or eyes, because we've got 30 seconds remaining, and now Toyo Igodo is going to have to go back to where Flanagan was marked by the touch judge to play the ball, or should I say tap the ball, and here goes Ross Peltier. We're about to see another drop goal because 20 seconds remaining. Peltier is brought down just to the left hand side of the post. It goes to Keys, to Flanagan, to Chisholm. Chisholm brought down. This will be the final play of the first half, you feel. Can the Bulls beat the clock? Peltier carries it in. Peltier towards the line. Ross Peltier! It was like a tsunami! A wave! An unstoppable wave of Bradford Bulls pressure! The hooter sounds! Bradford have a crucial third score on the buzzer! 17 points to 0! Nobody was stopping Ross Peltier there!
Wow, what an effort, what an effort. Good on Ross. Bradford are playing this absolutely perfect. We keep saying the same thing, as long as they keep the composure. Going to be a great day for the fans. One thing that surprised me, and I'll challenge the lads on this, is there seems a real calmness today about the way Bradford are playing, whereas I've come other times, they're panicking and they're getting involved in ruck and getting involved, but here, everything's so composed, brilliant. I'll just ask Brandon first.
Yeah, mate, as you say, it's really composed. In defence as well, they've been on our line. We look sweet, everyone's trusting each other. I think everyone knows the roles and they know what we need to do in playoff semi-final rugby, and it really stands out. I think John Kears spoke it up this week. Don't go out, don't do anything you wouldn't normally do. Stick to what you need to do, and then the prizes will come. And as you say, 19-0 up at half time. If he kicks this, it's been a great first half for us.
Sam?
Yeah, I think we're just, there's 80 minutes to go out and win a game in there. I think, we're going to use all 80 minutes today as well. Now it's up to Oldham now to go win the game in it. We don't have to do anything now. We can just complete at 100% and do what we do best. Yeah, it's all on Oldham now. There's no pressure on us at all.
Joe Keys, this could be a crucial 2 points. That one is on point, on target, and at half-time here at Onsell Stadium in his Betfred League 1 play-off action. It is Bradford Bulls 19, Oldham 0. Ethan Ryan, Joe Keys and Ross Peltier, the try-scorers for John Keir's side, and it all really turned in the final 5 minutes prior to the half-time hooter, Craig, because Oldham, the giveaway.
Throw this first 10 minutes, Mick, will be very tasty, and I'm sure this will decide which way this one goes. I'm still well on Bradford.
Well, for one of these two sides, there will be a final 40 minutes of 2018. The Bulls, as we said, in a commanding lead of 19 points to 0, but we've seen it numerous times this season. Oldham have hit back, and they did it 2 weeks ago, despite being down to 10 men at one point, with the dismissals of Davis and Nelms and Hooley in the sin bin. They outscored the Bulls in the second half by 6 points to 0, and it's going to be an early penalty to Oldham on their own 40-metre line, and that was great work there from Lee Kershaw. He just wanted to force a quick play the ball, and that will arrest the back-to-back penalties that Jack Smith's been giving the Bulls for Oldham indiscretions and dissent. So here we go, Oldham, a great opportunity at the start of this second half to post their first points, currently trailing 19 points to 0. They're over on that right-hand edge. It is going to be Hughes in at dummy half. He looks for his options. If we're going to find Crook in centre field, it goes to Hewitt. Hewitt to Neil. Neil's lost the ball behind him, but it's play on and it's picked up by Hewitt and quickly palmed along the line to Joy. And this is going to be Phil Joy getting up, playing the ball 20 metres out in centre field. Crowd appealing for a forward pass. Touch judge says line ball. The ball's come loose in the tackle. The Bulls have it, and it's the Maverick, the Jack in the box. It's Dane Chisholm Along the line, the Bulls will go. Hitchcock's is calling for it. Here goes Jai Hitchcock's, but Hitchcock's immediately manhandled by Briscoe. But that will be the 0 tackle for the Bulls as Matt Garside looks to break free. And he's brought down 8 metres out from the halfway line. We've had 90 seconds gone at the start of this second half, and once again Oldham, the architects of their own downfall, have now come up with their 8th error. And when you add the 8 errors to the 8 penalties they've conceded, you simply cannot give your opponents 16 opportunities with the ball. Peltier, 5 metres inside the Oldham half, will get to his feet. He'll play the ball. It'll go down the middle with Minchella. This is tackle number 4. Bradford win the penalty, and immediately John Keir, 2 fingers in the air. He will go safety first. Points at a premium. A lot of respect being shown to Oldham here, but also the experience of John Keir. He's been involved in these types of fixtures over his coaching career, and he knows the vital importance of another 2 points here, albeit from 35 metres out. And once again, Craig, Oldham's ill discipline this afternoon is killing them.
I tell you what, Mick, I've just saw something then. It's not the ill discipline as much, it's that both halves are playing off the line. So they're not committing defenders. If you watch the next set they get, if you don't play at the line and commit defenders, it's not opening gaps up around you. Both of them are playing with dinner jacket on. They've got to get at the line. I don't know how many times they've been tackled between them, but what I've just saw in the last set, the problem is I thought it looked predictable. It isn't. It's because the halfbacks are causing that. So again, Bradford take the 2. John Keir's the happier man. Scott Naylor gets great field position. And they're just shifting from side to side, mate. They're not causing any strike. No one's running off them. But they've got to go at the line. The first thing an halfback does, and the great halfbacks do, is they go at the line, mate.
Joe Keys, just the 1 miss this afternoon. This, his 4th attempt from 35 metres out, strikes it superbly between the posts, and it is Bradford Bulls 21, Oldham 0. We've had 44 minutes gone here at Odsal Stadium, Betfred League 1, playoff semi-final footy, and the Bulls leading Oldham 21-0.
Fantastic, yeah, here we go, Mick, again. All the pressure's on Oldham now. All Bradford going to do is control the field position. That's all they've got to do. Nice and composed. Don't see nothing changing. JK's looks very happy down there. Scott Naylor doesn't. So I think, again, get through the sets, get to the kick, and nice and composed. Don't need to force anything here. The halfback's got to stay nice and composed. And that's not always been the case with Bradford's halfbacks. So I'm hoping that they do. Matty Garside's coming on and making loads of yards, getting on his front. George can get behind that. So everything's good at the moment. That were a knock-on, by the way.
Commentators curse there, Craig. Bradford come up with their 6th error of the match. It is Doncaster 14, Workington Town 20. So as things stand, Leon Price will be bringing Workington Town to Odsal Stadium for the Betfred League 1 playoff final at Odsal next Sunday. That could all change in the next 35 minutes, but oh boy, has Leon Price and Workington had the hoodoo sign over the Bulls in 2018. That 1-point defeat at Derwent Park, followed up by that 6-point loss here at Odsal. Here come Oldham. They're looking for an opening back into this game, and it's Langtree. He will be at the KCOM Stadium on Humberside next season, signing a 2-year deal. Gets to his feet, plays the ball. It goes from Crook to Hewitt. Hewitt's inside pass to Neil. Neil's brought down, and that will be tackle number 4 for Oldham. Is there a chance back in this game? They're going to try and surge with Crook. Paul Crook, the post checking, but McNally once again, that scrambling Bradford defence, and Oldham, they'll go back to the 10-metre line. Great defence there from the Bradford Bulls. Oldham trailing 21 points to 0, and it's gone backwards, says referee. Jack Smith, George Flanagan drops on the ball, but the referee will say it was touched by a Bradford player in flight. So, Sam, the Bulls are going to have to do a bit of defending here.
Yeah, I didn't really see too much of that. Just a quick one there. Ross Peltier on our line. That were, I think he's been massive for us so far. The work he's travelled across 20 yards of the field there, made a tackle from inside, and then gone and pressured the 9 out of dummy half as well. He's absolutely working his socks off, Pelt. So, dad life ain't doing him any disservice.
Bradford, they will look to protect the scoreboard. Hewitt A lot of experience at this level. Don't forget Bradford and Oldham, the two sides that were relegated at the back end of 2017. Bradford, they're in a commanding position. They're looking for an instant return back to the championship, the newly expanded championship. It'll be up to 14 teams in 2019 as Hughes finds Crook out to Johnson. Johnson outright to McComb. McComb's going to be brought down just outside the Bradford 5-metre line. Ethan Ryan coming in off his wing. That might create a bit of space, but back come Oldham down the middle channel, and that is Joy who is wrapped up. So no Joy for Joy. Last tackle, it goes to Hewitt. Kick over the top, looking for Kershaw, but Hitchcock's is there. Hitchcock's is trapped in goal, but it's a penalty to the Bulls because Oldham inside the 10 and they've pushed Hitchcock's back over the line. Bradford's 10th penalty in this game as Workington Town kick a penalty. They now lead Doncaster by 8 points. It's 22 points to 14.
Very disappointed again for Scott Naylor. Again, keep looking at the halfbacks. They did it again, then they shift, and they're not actually going up the line, and it's allowing Bradford to slide out early, whereas I think if one of them just straightens up, it'll be a game changer. Big set for Bradford here, no mistakes Bradford, field position. And it looks here like they're going to give a penalty there.
Ross Peltier there making a huge metres forward. His try on the hooter, giving the Bulls an extra 6 points. They're just inside the Oldham half. We've had 48 minutes gone. 32 remaining as Keys, he will get a bit of misfortune from Johnson, and it just doesn't wait up on the old speedway corners. They do ever so slightly, despite the concrete around the perimeter, they still raise up ever so slightly, and Joe Keys playing the percentages there. And back will come Oldham. Let's not forget when we spoke with John Keir before kick-off, he said that his side were prepared for the biggest game of the season. He knew that the players realised it was crunch time and there's no second chances. And I think we've seen so far from the Bradford Bulls one of the strongest performances of 2018 to date. Oldham really doing it tough as Garside and Gibson come in. Also around the legs was Green as Oldham via Hughes once again making good metres forward. Is that the catalyst to give the Oldham side a bit of momentum? Kershaw in at dummy half to Hewitt. It goes off the right arm there of Bent. Referee Smith says it's gone backwards. Hughes will attack Chisholm, Flanagan and also Peltier. Referee says the Bulls are back the 10. The kick will come from Crook, looking to put Ethan Ryan under pressure. Ethan Ryan, superb tech under 3 green-shirted Oldham defenders.
Mate, can't believe it. He's actually put the ball up to the best defending and a high ball. It just seems that they're losing the way a little bit. They're hitting lead runners with runs. They don't. The halfbacks have got to take control for Oldham to get to end of a set and put it on Ethan's head. I don't know what they're thinking. Again, Bradford are just going to get the composure. Crossley's back on. I don't know, I'm looking at Toyo, he looks injured. I don't know if he's suffering something here, but he's just missed a tackle then. Dane's going early. Could be a 40-20, mate.
Dane's looking
Get
for
ready.
40-20 over the head of Kershaw. Here we go. It's a sonic boom. Dane Chisholm, he had the foresight. It was like Mother Shipton at Oxford Stadium. He realised Kershaw was out of position, and Kershaw now has shown dissent to referee Jack Smith. He has thrown the ball away. The Bulls were looking to take the quick tap. It is another penalty to the Bradford Bulls, and that now will see Oldham down to 12 men. Jack Smith slowly losing patience with this Oldham side. They've conceded 11 penalties. Bradford, they won't go for the 2 points on offer. They can smell and sense blood like the Great White after the play. And here goes Crossley trying to twist and turn and reach out. The big prop forward for the Bulls is brought down 2 metres out. There's a gap opening up for Minchella to Chisholm. Minchella's got it down. Minnie's in underneath the sticks, and Bradford, they don't go for 2. The decision to hunt for 4 and 6 has paid off. It's raining points here at Onsall. It's a procession. 25 points to 0.
Fantastic again. Great effort by Elliott. I think it was Elliott, wasn't it? Fantastic effort. If they'd have gone left, they have 4 men over there. Oldham now with a man below. I think this is where Bradford really could put big points in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to give a big rap for Dane. I sometimes have a little go at Dane for overplaying. He's played fantastic with a lot of composure. He was actually called in the studio by one of our cameramen. Great 40-20, but he's really playing with so much composure, and that's what all the Bradford fans have always wanted. Brandon, just have a look now. What you're thinking now? Is everything according to plan? What was the game plan? Was the game plan to play this way?
Yeah, 100%. Just get through with sets and the gaps will come. And lucky for us now, they've got 12 men, so if we just keep completing, I'm sure we'll get many more opportunities down in this end.
Sam, you're happy, man?
Very happy, man, mate. Yeah, very happy. You know, there's two things certain in life, isn't there? Death and Elliott Minchella scoring a try. So, yeah, very happy. We're going. You know, we're really going through sets here, and everyone's doing the job, and they're not trying to overplay, and that were outstanding from Chiz, that 40-20.
Elliott Minchella's 33rd try of the season in all competitions, just behind Ethan Ryan. Keys from in front, 27 points to 0. The Bulls get the first try of this second half. Elliott Minchella underneath the sticks, and that once again, it's deja vu, Groundhog Day, after Lee Kershaw had shown dissent. That is a controllable. Was there any need to throw the ball and delay Bradford's quick tap?
Mick, who knows in the pressure of a game, you know, I'm sure the lad regrets it now, but it's played right into Bradford's hands again. Scott Naylor will be absolutely beside himself, because again they've had a little bit of field position, but Bradford's really in the tendency now that all they've got to do again, Mick, is just play it through. The fans are happy, the rain's coming on, get to the kick early like they did with Dane then. There's no wingers back, get the kick off and get the chase good, and it's on. They don't need to force anything.
We've had 53 minutes here at Odsall Stadium. Mikey Wood, Jordan Lilly warming up below the gantry. Jai Hitchcox is just going to be led from the field. He's going to rub it off, running off your field. He gets the thumbs up from Matt Duke, but here come the Bulls. Toyo Igodo attacking down the middle right, and Flanagan now, he has the platform. Garside, 5-10 metres. Inside support from Keys to Minchella, and Elliott Minchella, he will get a double, and he'll splash over the line. It goes from bad to worse for Oldham, but the Bradford Bulls, they will book their place, one feels, in the Betfred League One playoff final at Odsall Stadium next Sunday. 31 points to 0.
Elliott, brilliant, fantastic, great support play. The extra man, the numbers are going to come. Fantastic for Bradford. The complete performance so far. The complete performance. And they've done it against a good side. That's what I like, the difference is to actually keep composure against a good side like Oldham. Oldham have looked bang average today. That's been met by Bradford's defence. They're not panicking in the composure. So massive raps. Bradford will look like, if everything things are through to the playoff game, Mick, the fans can go home happy, and it's another week of risk. It's fantastic. Everyone's good.
I think if you're going to place this performance so far, you've got to look at Oldham's previous 10 defeats in League One in 2018. Scott Naylor's side lost 8 of those, them 10 games, by 8 points or less. That includes that game 2 weeks ago at the Vestacare Stadium. This is now Oldham's heaviest defeat of the season as things stand. This has been a superb performance from John Keir and the Bradford Bulls, and Joe Keys has another opportunity to add an extra 2 points. 15 metres to the right of the post, easy as you like, cool as a cucumber. Bulls Live, proper sport, Betfred, 33 points to 0. The Bulls lead, they're heading to the playoff final.
Without doubt, and it'll be so good for John Keir to actually implement a game plan and pull it off. Nothing spectacular has been played today, apart from Ethan in the corner. Everything else has just been going through the sets, taking the gap when it comes. But that's rugby league, that's how we play it, and in these conditions, absolutely nailed the game plan, absolutely overwhelmed with it, and there's going to be more points again here.
Elliot Minchella, 2 tries in this playoff semi-final. He comes down this right-hand edge. The gap's opening up. The defensive structure of Scott Naylor's side is just crumbling like a rich tea biscuit in hot coffee. And here goes Flanagan now. He can smell more blood. Ball out on the left to Staunton, and Matty Staunton, who scored 4 tries in 3 appearances, he'll be brought down on that left-hand edge. He'll get to his feet. He'll play the ball. McNally in at dummy half. Crossfield kick to Chisholm. It's the Mummel and Bimby brothers. That was script read. That is an Oscar-style try, and Bradford are 37 points now. Chisholm and Hitchcocks have played together since they were 4-year-olds. And it certainly told on that try.
My God, he actually called it. I seen Dane looked up. They knew it were on. They played together that long. The wingers had to come in because of the short man. He's there. Fantastic execution of a play. Again, big raps for the Dane. When he's playing like this and he's not forcing it, he's absolutely top class. And it's a big lesson for everybody. You don't have to force plays. The plays will come, Mick. This is a joy to watch. Bradford fans must be absolutely overwhelmed.
Sam, you must be absolutely delighted from a Bradford point of view, the way the Bulls are playing. Everything is coming off.
Yeah, mate, we're playing unbelievably. Just touching on what Craig said there. When Chizzy's on song, he's incredible. I think he's taken a bit of flack this year off social media, and I think some of it's a lot of it's very undue. He'll say himself when he's had a bad game, but he does take a lot of flack. And I think to come back and put in a performance like this is an absolute credit to him. Also, a quick thing: Joe Keys' boots, right? They are absolutely incredible. The maroon, and they are the best boots I have ever seen.
Joe Keys, cool, calm, composed, meticulous in his preparation. With the right boot, this one is on target. This one sails between the posts once again, and it is 39 points to 0 now on Bulls Live, proper sport, and across the Betfred platforms we've seen 6 tries to the Bradford Bulls. Ethan Ryan, Joe Keys, Ross Peltier, a brace to Elliot Minchella, and Jai Hitchcocks. He now has 6 tries in the last 3 games for the Bradford Bulls. He scored in the last 4, and that is all on the back of his return to action after Bradford defeated the West Wales Raiders. Oldham, a shallow restart, but it has been knocked on by Dave Hewitt, and Jack Smith will form the scrum. We have hit the hour mark at Odsal Stadium, and it is 39 points to 0 in this Betfred League One playoff semi-final.
Well, Mick, at this stage, I believe JK is actually thinking of next week. Hopefully he's not too early, but the players going to come unscathed now. They've been fantastic. He's through again. Chizzy's through the dummy. One pass, it's on. What a pass. They're not catching Ethan from there. Good night, Irene.
Goodbye, Ethan Ryan. He's got 50 metres down the far stand side. The tries are rolling in at Odsal. It is a massacre. It's 43 points to 0. You have to feel ever so slightly sorry for Oldham now, because they are like the meat to the wolves.
Mick, we're sat with 2 players here who are actually looking and how well Bradford have played. Sorry lads, but it's looking bleak for you 2 next week. We've actually got, it'd be great to get a little thing from players when you're seeing your team play like this. Massive for the club, but obviously I can't see JK changing much by what I've seen. Is that right, Sam?
Yeah, you can't change a winning formula, can you? And as gutting as it is for me and Pick, we're all a squad at the end of the day, and the main goal is to go up. So if the best thing for the team to get promotion is for the boys who are missing out to miss out again the week after, then so be it. As long as we end up in the championship next year.
Well said, Sam. Brandon.
Totally agree, mate. To be honest, I can't see JK changing much for next week. This has been the best performance of the season by far, well up to this point. So, as I say, me and Sam are gutted not to be playing, but it's one of them. If the team are going to do well and go up, then me and Sam are just happy to play our part and get the boys ready for the game next week.
Fantastic.
Ethan Ryan now has 36 tries for the season. 36 tries, 22 years of age, the League One Young Player of the Year. He is Mr. Consistent. and this is 66th appearance, and he's now on 69 tries. Here goes Keys from the far stand side. A blemish on his record. That has gone to the left-hand side of the upright, and it remains 43 points to 0. But let's just talk about Craig Ethan Ryan and his contribution at the Bulls in 2018. 36 tries in 29 appearances.
Mick, we had him on the show on Thursday, and we said I think he's the best component of the high ball. I've seen his finishing as good as anything I've seen, and he's got a massive future. One improvement he can make is on his yardage, but that'll come. A lot of wingers get that afterwards. Fantastic for Bradford that they've got such young talent nailed down. And as I say, I've been watching a lot of wingers this year. Mick, he'd be in my top 3 or 4 or 5 wingers, and that's in the country. That's how highly I think of him.
Bradford, all the ascendancy, all that momentum. They lead Oldham by 43 points to 0. Flanagan to Garside. The party hasn't stopped yet, you feel. Neither has the point scoring. Doncaster have pulled it back at the keep-up with a try late in that second half. Doncaster 18, Workington 28. It is the last tackle from the Bulls. Keys, crossfield kick, looking for Hitchcock, looking to put Kershaw under pressure, who's just come back on the field after his 10-minute spell in the bin. And while Oldham have been down to 12 men, they've conceded 22 points, so a costly 10 minutes in the big Craig.
And that's the great sign of a good team with composure, because you can see where the gap is, and people seem to, when you get a man down, people force the play quick, Mick, and they force it quick and it don't come off. What the Bradford have done is just keep doing what they've been doing all game, and the gaps have come. Brandon must have seen that, yeah?
Yeah, I just want to say from last time we played them, they had 3 or 2 men in sin bin, so we've learned from that, and I think it's real pleasing to see today that we're not losing his heads and we're just staying calm and taking the opportunity when it does present itself.
2 quick penalties to the visitors. Scott Naylor's side, they're playing for pride. It will be a disappointing final game of 2018 for them, but let's not forget what happened in those previous 26 rounds. They pushed York all the way on 2 occasions. They held James Ford's side to just a narrow 2-point home defeat at the Vestacare before that tense game at Bootham Crescent 3 weekends ago when it was 10 points to 6. It could have gone Oldham's way in the final minutes of that one. They have had a fantastic season, and they will certainly look to regroup and challenge Newcastle in 2019. Bradford still have to navigate the final next week, but we've got 15 minutes remaining, and Oldham, as we said, they're just looking for a consolation now, playing for pride as it goes back to Johnson, and Johnson's brought down on tackle number 4. Once again, Steve Crossley marching and marshalling the Bulls defensive line. There's a bit of pushing and shoving off the ball as Matt Wilkinson is wrapped up on the last tackle, and once again Matt Garside and James Green, they're controlling that ruck. Hewitt, crossfield kick, looking for Reid. Hitchcock takes that one from the clouds. He looks for an opening and he can't get past Hewitt and Neal in a 2-man tackle. And with 15 minutes remaining at Odsal Stadium, 7 tries to 0, 43 points to 0 on the scoreboard.
Mick, a lot of people have challenged Bradford this year that they don't know what to do in the arm wrestle, they don't know what to do when games were like this. Today is exactly what they should do, and I've got a feeling that this is the breakthrough for them. I think next week now, you look at how they've played, and then the players will believe they can play this way. Again, look at that off Dane, it's kicking early. It's another 40-20. This is spectacular rugby. Spectacular rugby.
You can certainly tell who is looking for a contract extension. The referee is going to say, though, that his foot was over the 40-metre line. So, perhaps a little bit premature in calling it, Craig.
I'll call them every day, Mick, and again, they've really played. Again, I'm so impressed, and I think what they'll do is all week they'll believe if they do it this way now, they don't panic and they don't do this. It's all fantastic. Whether they play next week, Bradford Bulls have learnt a massive lesson on how to play at this level and control a game. John Keir will be absolutely chuffed to bits. Absolutely chuffed to bits.
5 minutes remaining at the Keepmoor Stadium. It is still Doncaster 18, Workington Town 28. Oh my word, what a battle royal that will be at Odsal Stadium next Sunday. Workington, it'll be the third time these two sides have met. Workington will be looking to make it 3 wins on the bounce. Here at Odsal Stadium, 14 minutes remain and 43 points to nil will open up the Bulls Live Proper Sport Betfred Man of the Match vote, so fire away with your comments. It's all down to you, the viewers, to decide the man of the match. There's some strong candidates playing in the red, amber and black, none more so than Joe Keys, Dane Chisholm, Ethan Ryan, also Elliot Minchella out there. Oldham keeping the ball alive over on the far stand side. They'll be brought down 35 metres out from the Bradford line. They're still playing right to the death as Wilkinson fires it to Langtree. Langtree can't get past Minchella as the two 12s collide, and Langtree, he sucked in 3 Bulls defenders. He offloaded the ball in the tackle, and the grateful recipient was Ethan Ryan. It remains 43 points to nil.
Fantastic by young Staunton there, Mick. It was young Staunton who did that, a great tackle, and I'm going to give him a rap here. He's through again here. We're on again, Mick, and the pushing. Now he's pushing, he's got himself.
Oh! Going on the diagonal. He's still going, is Joe Keys. Keys had McNally on the inside support, but he'll take the tackle, and Bradford swarming forward once again. Lilly centre field, a little half break there from the Leeds Rhinos low knee. He'll win the penalty in front of the post, and John Keir will say, keep the pressure going, don't take the 2. That's Bradford's 13th penalty in this match, and it is that Oldham ill discipline that has cost them dearly. Dane Chisholm will find touch. Just the fingers, calming everything down. He'll tap it. Didn't fancy his chances against this strong, blustery Odsal wind. The sun behind the clouds, starting to set behind our commentary position. A cool, breezy afternoon at Odsal. Chisholm to Hitchcock's. Just a little bit on it. Couldn't quite reach Jai, who was looking to get past Matt Reid. And that chance has come to nothing. And I think, Craig, that's the first time in the second half where the Bulls' structure has just gone to pot and they've not followed the game plan.
Yeah, they kicked on third, I think, play. I think Dane were looking to get his mate in Jai again for a bit of high fives between each other. Don't need to do it, but no problem, keep it going. Another rap for Staunton is I rate this Langtree. I've been watched him today, he's been fantastic for Oldham. But I think Matty and the left edge of Bradford have neutralised him, and for me, I think he's just got his deal at FC. Great to see him next year. I actually like him. He's coming for loads of work. He's very aggressive. He's actually playing a lot of the football they're doing, and he hasn't stopped trying. So big hips and a young Staunton at 18-year-old to be going head to head with him, because he definitely looks a good talent.
A penalty to Oldham because Gareth Owen has been taken out off the ball. So that's Oldham's 7th penalty of the afternoon. We're in the final 2 minutes at the Keepmoat. It is Doncaster 18, Workington Town 28. So it will be Workington Town coming to Odsal Stadium next Sunday.
Andrew Chalmers, I think, has just got that news. He's walking over to the coaching bench, and I think he's going over to tell them that they've got Workington. And that's what the draw is. He's going around checking hands with everybody. But what a week. What a game to come next week. Hopefully it gets the biggest crowd of the year at Bradford. I think everyone should come out. I think if they get through this, it's been a very successful season. Massive game to come. And let's hope, like I said, let's hope the fans come in numbers and support the team.
What a battle royal, as we've already said, that will be between Bradford and Workington. 80 minutes between promotion to the Championship or potentially facing either Rochdale or Swinton in that losing playoff game, as Langtree's ball has gone over the top there of David Eccleston. It's got into touch, and that will be a scrum head and feed to the Bradford Bulls. 10 minutes remaining exactly, and it's worth pointing out, as we said, that the Bulls, they've got the best attack and defence. They have been scoring quite freely in 2018. The Bulls themselves, despite only conceding 11 points per game and up to this afternoon, and still 75 tries, they've now posted 258 tries for the season, and they're averaging 51 points per game.
Here's one, Mick. I'll just ask the lads quickly while we're on. While the referees, the penalty again. what'll please John Keane the most? Will it be the points scored or the blank sheet? Sam?
It'll be that nil, mate. We could have won this game 1-0. It don't really matter how many points we score, as long as, especially in knockout rugby. As long as the other team has a duck egg next to the name, like I say, you can score 1 point, you score 100 points, a win's a win, and we're into that playoff final.
Fantastic, Brandon.
Yeah, same, mate. Defence wins games, and hopefully we can take this into next week, which is a massive game. But John Key will be more happy with the no points against us, I reckon.
Just one more quickly, lads. Do you get win bonus for today?
I heard you're paying us for commentary.
Oldham still not waving the white flag, and their small band of supporters just to the left of our commentary position there, willing their side in. And here we go with Johnson, Kieran Johnson, twisted turning, brought down by Flanagan, and the ball's gone to ground. McNally was ready to take it and go the distance, but in the end, Joe Keys just kept on of it, and it was conservative stuff there from the former London man. And here comes Ross Peltier. He will interchange with Steve Crossley for the final time this afternoon. 43 points to nil. Credit to Oldham. The last 10 minutes they've not seen their line breach, but here we go. It's another penalty for laying on in the tackle. Bradford now leading the penalty count 14-7.
Let me get Oldham a wrap here, Mick. They're still trying. There were 3 or 4 in tackle there. They've not, they've kept going to the end. They want, let's cut to the chase, Mick. Bradford are supposed to win this game with the budget they've got. They're supposed to win this game. They're supposed to do this. They're supposed to clinically beat teams. They've got the biggest budget in the division. That's for everyone who's listening for the first time. Oldham will have a lot less budget, and they haven't stopped trying. But chuffed to death for Bradford that they've actually kept to it. John Keir will be the happiest coach in the world tonight.
Here
we go again.
Minchella backs himself to the line. What a pass! Miracle ball out the back on the inside to the supporting Ashley Gibson. That one was a perler. How did he get the ball out? He sucked that edge defence, and Gibson will dive over the line like a child in a ball pool. 47-0.
Yeah, fantastic skill by everybody concerned there. Elliot were fantastic. Elliot were fantastic there, and the support play again, fantastic. It's champagne rugby now, and as again, the lads have just said they'll be probably happy with the clean sheet, but wow, that certainly warms up the crowd with that. What a fantastic piece of rugby. And again, another player who hopefully next year, if Bradford do go up, they've maintained him, they've signed him on, so exciting times at Bulls.
Well, anyone who was under any doubt about the 9 changes that John Keir made going into today's Betfred League One semi-final against Oldham, well, those changes, they've certainly not affected, well, I tell a lie, the changes have affected the cohesion of the side, but it's been in the positive rather than the negative.
Well, I don't want to say that, Mick, because the lads look as sick as Blackpool donkeys here, but he's... I would say, yeah, the perfect. If you're certainly looking to get back in the squad for next week, it's going to be a tough week. I think you're going to get the tackle bags, lads, and spend a week defending for me. But listen, like the lads said, what a thing for the crowd, the players, the squad. They all want this great club to go up and be part of that championship and then push on for Super League. They can only achieve that is if they get these results. So fantastic for everybody concerned at the club. Only half the job done though. Next week's the big one. You now know it's Workington. Congratulations for Doncaster, who've had a fantastic season, but you couldn't want it any better. It's Workington v Bradford, and it's back on. John Keir v Leon Price. Everybody comes back next week, Mick, and we start again.
Sam, you've played in some of those Bradford-Workington games this season. Just how tough will it be next week? Those Cumbrian sides coming down here to Odsal again.
Yeah, they do what they do well, don't they? They're not the flashiest side. But they've got some real good individual talent, and they come together really well. They're always tough. There's always a bit of heat in there. So it should be a good game. On man at match, I don't think the middlemen. I know I'm a middleman myself, but I don't think they get enough credit. I think James Green, Ross Peltier, George Flanagan, George Lilly, Steve Crossley have been absolutely immense today. So they should definitely be in consideration for some amount of matches.
Well, I can tell you, going on the votes, Dane Chisholm is leading. So Dane Chisholm, the Bulls Live Proper Sport Betfred man of the match this afternoon as Owen goes high on Garside.
Steady.
And here we go. It's erupted at Odsal Stadium and Jack Smith and the touch judges have to sort this out. Players pulling each other off. And Gareth Owen, he was the instigator. He went high on Matt Garside. The head went back. And referee Jack Smith has to sort out this schmozzle. We've got 4 minutes remaining at Odsal. 47-0 it remains.
It's not been that sort of game, Mick. That was just a bit of daftness. It's nothing at all. No one's threw anything. There's only handbags. They're all shaking hands and laughing, and and it's all right. It's not been that type of game. So to be fair to both teams, it's not been dragged into that. It's been probably as opposite of what I thought. I thought there'd be a little bit of tension in it, and that's what come out. But for me, get on with it, ref. There's only 3 minutes to go. Not worth punishing the lad now. Get on with game. Let's crack on. There's only 3.5 minutes left.
Well, we can confirm it has finished at the Keepmoat Stadium. Doncaster 18, Workington Town 28. So Leon Price's side have navigated that playoff semi-final. Referee Jack Smith will send Oldham down to 12 men for the second time in this game for a high tackle. Gareth Owen will sit down. And Craig, do you think that's the right decision or is it harsh?
Not for me. It's 3 minutes to go. It's crazy. He's telling them they're all shaking hands. Matty Garside's all right with it. There's no real intent. It's a game of rugby mix. Sometimes that happens. As I say, it's been played in a really good manner. Both teams have been a credit. And it just slows the game down and gets everyone frustrated. So get on with game.
Ross Peltier will sit down for 10 minutes in the sin bin. Ross Peltier wasn't part of that tackle. So Ross Peltier will finish the game. And both sides down to 12 men for the final 4 minutes at Odsal Stadium. As we've said, it's not been that sort of game. So it's a shame that we've seen 3 players in the bin, but Ross Peltier, he gets a bit of a hero's welcome from the supporters below our commentary position, and the referee places the incident on report, and the touch judge on the fast-hand side just giving Jack Smith the mark. So potentially, there's time left on the clock. The Bulls, a 9th try this afternoon. It would see him hit the half-century, but Dane Chisholm, a fine kicking display. He has been immense. He has been that great creative link alongside Joe Keys out there, and a well-deserved man of the match performance. We'll be catching up with Dane Chisholm on Bulls Live and Proper Sport post-game. Also, we'll hear the thoughts of John Keir. He must be absolutely delighted with this performance as Bradford, the go-in hunt of a 9th try here at Odsal Stadium. McNally out of dummy half. This will bring the house down. He's held up on the line. He'll go back to the 10. And Oldham scrambling defence still working despite everything that the Bulls have thrown at them this afternoon. And I still can't quite stop thinking about next week and that Betfred League One playoff final. Bradford against Workington. Part 3. Minchella for the hat-trick. Palms it back. Dead in goal. Tap on the 20 for Oldham. Clever play between Keys and Minchella. It very nearly come off, but next week, Bradford Bulls, Workington Town. Wow.
But things, so much changed, Mick, for me. I think Bradford will go in that with a lot more confidence than they did last time. I think they've played this to perfection. And I think going into next week, Bradford will be confident. The fans will be behind them. I don't feel as nervous, Mick. I now know they can do it. When it gets in that arm wrestle, they've just executed this today absolutely fantastic. Again, against not a bad side. So trust me, you'll see a different Bradford. I think if it gets arm wrestle and get nervous, they can look back at this game and know exactly what they've got to do. Go back to completing. And I'm very confident if you're a Bradford fan.
Final 2 minutes here at Odsal. Hewitt tries to unlock this Bulls defence. It goes out to Langtree. Langtree wrapped up and wins a penalty. So it has been a bit of a penalty fun this afternoon, but credit to Jack Smith out there, a former ex-Royal Navy Marine. I think he's handled this one superbly, and he could be in with a shout to control the final next week as Oldham, the held up over the Bradford line for the 4th time in this match. that has shown you the passion and the pride there, the desire from this Bradford Bulls defensive line. And once again, it's Matt Garside. He's took one across the face all afternoon, and he's still out there. And the Bulls want to keep that big fat 0 on the scoreboard. They've got 60 seconds remaining as Johnson can't get past Minchella, although he manages to find Wilkinson. Wilkinson to Reid. That's touch Hitchcock's. It'll be another set of 6. So the final action here at Odsall. Odsall in this Betfred League One playoff semi-final will be, can Oldham get some points on the board at last? They've stretched the Bulls on the right-hand edge, but Ethan Ryan comes in. Great defensive read there. Wilkinson's in there at dummy half. Will he go himself? He will, you know. And he's wrapped up in front of the post. Mikey Wood coming in all over on all angles. Here goes Hewitt. Hewitt to Johnson, to Reid on this main stand side. Reid, no look pass back to Johnson. Johnson still has ball in hands. He'll find Wilkinson. Wilkinson can't get past Minchella. And still, this Bradford Bulls defensive line, unrelenting, impervious defence as Oldham with Joy, and Joy's bounced the ball on contact with the line, and that will be all she wrote at Odsall Stadium. This Betfred League One playoff semi-final has finished. Bradford Bulls 47, Oldham 0. Craig Harrison, your thoughts please.
Simple. Oldham again showed why from the word go, and they've had good ball. They've just not created enough chances, Mick. They must be going away devastated. John Keir must be the happiest man, even at the end there, the scrambling defence. They've kept nil, even though they've missed quite a few tackles. I was watching them. Bit of tiredness. Listen, you're into next week. It's cup football. They don't look as though there's any injuries. I don't think I've seen any. So, I mean, that's sad for lads. They're devastated about that, but maybe 1 or 2. But for me, Mick, John Keir be looking at that, thinking job done, half the job done. Bring on next week. Couple of days rest, bit of rehab, and then the game plan for Workington. But a different Bradford, Mick, I'm telling you, they're mentally stronger after that.
Sam, a lot of Bull supporters, and we're going to hear from some in just a moment's time, they are asking the question, where has this performance come from?
I think a lot, you've got to remember that a lot, you know, we're a very young side, and this year has been all about learning. I think a lot was spouted out earlier in the year, very, very prematurely in my opinion, from different people.